Hi, I'm Tripwyre. I've spent nearly 800 hours in Borderlands 2 already, but I figured a few more couldn't hurt. I'm jumping on the Borderlands 3 hype train and I'm gonna do it all. Level a fresh character, do every mission, complete challenges, and farm legendaries. This is Borderlands 2EZ. Hello, and welcome to Borderlands 2EZ with me, Tripwyre. Now before we get into the series properly, I want to mention a couple of things. Firstly, I called this series Borderlands 2EZ for reasons that you've probably already figured out. Everybody who watches my content is a genius and very handsome, so good for you. I wanted a name that played with the title of the game in some way, and it's clearly ironic because doing literally everything the game has to offer will be far from easy. Secondly, let's go over the series rules or guidelines or whatever you want to call them. Here are the required guidelines. I must start a new character and do everything myself. No co-op play or trading, no modding or item duping. The only thing my character will be making use of is my badass rank percentages, which are largely inconsequential. I must do every quest on every playthrough. I must reach max level. I do have all the DLC, so this should mean level 72, and we'll decide whether or not to mess with overpower levels when we get there. Optional objectives that I'm going to attempt. Complete every challenge, and after reaching max level, farm for every legendary. These goals should make this series last for a long time and get us very close to the release of Borderlands 3. I do have a job, but let's see how far I can make it before September 13th. Without further ado, let's jump into the pilot episode of Borderlands 2EZ. Thank you for watching. Alright, now it is time to get into the first episode of Borderlands 2EZ properly. Thank you so much for checking out this series. This channel has historically been predominantly old school RuneScape content, and I know that that's what most of you are here for, or were at least here for initially. The channel's been pretty dead for a while. I have had neither the time nor the inclination to work on YouTube in my spare time. I've mostly been focusing on Twitch, as has been my MO for many years now. That's always been more interesting to me. I've spent a lot of years doing video work, both professionally and kind of on my own time, and it kind of lost its luster for the most part. I did have a lot of fun creating the intro for this series, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. But yeah, check out my streams if you feel like it, and if you don't, that's fine too. Let's get into this new series, Borderlands 2EZ. Starts right now.
One where the very fate of Pandora hangs in the...
I don't have time to listen to your shit, Marcus. Borderlands 3 comes out September 13th. We've only got so much time. Alright, fuck, what? Fucking, what? God damn it, hang on. Hang on. It was this one, right? Son of a bitch. I made the intro, and I made a character ahead of time to use in the intro. I remember what skin I'm using, but I don't remember what head I used. The skin was this one. Is that the same? I don't remember. Hang on, be right back. Yeah, okay, I had it right. It's this head and this skin. Alright, I had to create a throwaway character to put in the intro, and of course you want it to match what the character's actually going to look like, so I remembered the blood and rust. I couldn't quite remember what the head looked like. I don't know how. I spent lots of time editing that. So we're going to call this BL2EZ, obviously. But yeah, September 13th is fast approaching, kind of. It's April 16th at the time of this recording. We're going to timestamp when I started working on this. I don't know how long I'm going to hold on to episodes or like stockpile them before I start releasing them, but this is not going to be like a how-to type of playthrough. I'm going to go ahead and assume that you've all played the game before. Potato brains, is that what he said? I hope these volume levels are okay. I'll adjust as I edit these if necessary, if I notice that the levels aren't satisfactory. But I'm guessing you've played this game before. Borderlands 2 is amazing, and it's been out for almost 7 years now. It will have been out for pretty much exactly 7 years when 3 releases. Came out in 2012. And I've played this game just so fucking much. This is probably my second favorite game of all time, right after old school RuneScape. I've spent so many hours in old school RuneScape, it's not even funny. And this game is a not even close second. I haven't spent nearly as many hours in any game like I have in old school, but this is probably my second favorite game of all time, and I don't know, I love it. I actually have been working on Borderlands 1 Remastered as well. Oh my god, I forgot about all these pop-ups. The shit pops up, and if let's go ahead and get this out of the way. I'm gonna open this, it's gonna be like, yeah, you unlock this and that and the other thing because I pre-ordered it, or no, I pre-ordered it on PC, but I got the Game of the Year edition. Premier Club, whatever. Yes, good skins, please. Okay. Gonna start us with some shit. I don't like assault rifles in this game. I've already unlocked these, so these don't do a whole lot. That's the thing. But yeah, I mentioned before, this is my badass rank, 31,000, and these are the adjustments that are being made. I could disable these bonus stats. I think that these percentages are largely inconsequential, particularly when you take into account how much I've played this game and how I already know what I'm doing pretty much at all times. The game tends not to pose a challenge anymore. It's just a lot of fun. But if you really feel like these bonuses should be turned off, they can be disabled, so feel free to leave a comment about that. I don't think it really matters, particularly not during the first or even second playthrough. Ultimate Vault Hunter mode has some scaling issues, so that max health and stuff is going to come in handy during that, and if we decide to fuck with overpower levels, big if, it could make a slight difference there. But the main challenge does not come from stuff like this. When the challenge does come around, if you really are against me using these bonuses, let me know, and I'll take it under advisement. But like I said, this is not going to be a how-to or like a walkthrough of this series. I'm guessing you've played it already, and if you haven't, they have sales on Borderlands 2 on Steam all the time, so go ahead and pick it up, give it a try. You can play 1 if you want, but you don't need to. I've been revisiting 1, like I said, Borderlands 1 Game of the Year Enhanced, and I've almost 100%ed it already. Again, I'm at 71 out of 80 achievements, and man, it's been a lot of fun to revisit, actually. Oh, and also, like I said, I am going to be working on challenges, so you'll see me open fucking everything whenever I can, just because that's one of the challenges, open Pandora's boxes, as it is called. So, like I mentioned, there are some required things for the series, and there's some optional ones. Let's just take a look at this again. So, they have specific challenges for the DLCs, and they have specific challenges that are just for the vanilla game, and just... There's a lot of challenges, and a lot of the challenges have multiple parts. Does that just stop? Oh, it's the Cult of the Vault for this starting area, which I'm going to hit, of course. But there's so many challenges that that might not be a viable thing to go for all of. But I'll certainly do as many of them as I can along the way. That and farming for every legendary are optional just because of the time required, the RNG involved. This is a very loud area, isn't it? It feels loud to me. Maybe it's not. Alright, there's the Cult of the Vault for Wind Shear Waste. But while I won't be telling you how to play the game, I'm just going to play it, I will be imparting some knowledge that I've picked up in 800 hours of playing this game, and hopefully you will find it interesting. Also, I'm sorry if me talking at the same time as the characters is clusterfucky to the ears. I turned the dialogue volume down to a level that I think should be adequate. Here we see Knuckle Dragger, the first boss of the game. You probably already knew that. Claptrap's eye gets removed. And he talks sometimes in the game about things that are hurting him and how it's awful, but then when you are working on the mission trying to rescue him, he does admit that he doesn't feel pain as he's a robot, so he's fine. That eye is fine. Of course, we see Angel here, recurring character from Borderlands 1. Mysterious character until about halfway to 2/3 through this campaign. Her origins will become clear at some point. I guess I'm telling you guys these things just in case you don't know what's going on in this game, and I feel like I'd probably be surprised to learn how many people still haven't played this game, even though they've known about it. It is very fun. And it's interesting because people are kind of skeptical sometimes. They're like, shooter looters are boring. And it's like, first of all, if you're watching me right now, you probably play old school RuneScape, so I don't know. If you have a background of that, I think you can handle playing some shooter looters. But also, Borderlands 1 is decidedly more boring than Borderlands 2, but I've had a shitload of fun revisiting it, and it's weird because I've been looking at it more critically than I used to. I do admit, willingly, Borderlands 1, hella boring compared to 2. And the game design is just straight up worse. It was their first attempt at a shooter-looter. It pioneered the genre as far, to my knowledge. There may have been other shooter-looters before it, but this was kind of the iconic one, as far as I know. The first game, that is. But the game design was straight up worse. The campaign, not as memorable, more boring. The DLCs as well were designed by madmen. They suffer from like AAA game-itis, which is something that's more of a modern problem than it was back then, so it's more forgivable. But man, the DLC campaigns are short, and the real grind of them comes from like, okay, sure. No, I didn't want to shoot that enemy at all. The real grind comes from like campaign length padding bullshit side quests that are collectible based and other stuff. It's just not, the DLCs are not that good. And I'm realizing that as I revisit them, they're really not that good. However, I've still been enjoying the crap out of them, playing them over again. And I even said, like, I will not... How is that missing? I guess I'm used to the controller aim assist. But even though the game is just straight up worse than 2, I've been enjoying it so much, and I think you would too. So try this franchise. Do yourself a favor and try it if you haven't already. It's wonderful. They're not expensive. Steam does sales, and anytime there's a big Steam sale, Borderlands games are part of it. And if you don't believe me, I own Borderlands 2 and all its DLC on 3 different systems because I have a problem. I started off playing Borderlands 2 on the Xbox 360. I did not have a gaming PC back in 2012. And I went to the midnight release with my buds, and we got it. So I got that and the Season Pass from GameStop for Borderlands 2 on the Xbox 360. When the Handsome Collection came out, I purchased that for my Xbox One, because like I said, I have a problem. And then when I switched over to PC gaming, I did go ahead and purchase the Borderlands 2 Game of the Year Edition on Steam. Steam's an enabler. I mean, we all know this. Steam is the devil on our shoulders, telling us that, I mean, you might get around to playing it at some point, and you don't want to lose money on this deal, so you might as well pick up that game, right? That's just, my Steam library has 160 games in it. I've probably played like 60. Alright, I gotta dig out Claptrap. I'm distracting myself from the objective here by chatting too much. Anyway, this is the first time I've done a Let's Play series on my main YouTube channel in a very long time, so feel free to leave whatever comments, whatever feedback you think is appropriate. Just I want to know what you think, because this is a series that I'm serious about. If you couldn't tell by the effort I put into the intro, and I haven't made an outro yet, but hopefully I will, because I need one. Alright, so now we're going to encounter the first boss from that cutscene, Knuckle Dragger. We're going to try to kill him very quickly and continue on. We have a lot to do in this series, and we're just getting started. But I'm going to do my absolute best to keep these recordings... Wow, that's so loud! Just stop it. I'm going to try to keep them entertaining, because I know that Let's Plays can get a little stale, and my Let's Play experience in recent memory is done... sorry, hang on. I'm just trying to aim there. It's done... There we go. With Steve, my roommate and best friend. So my Let's Play experience lately, I've always got Steve there to talk to and make conversation with. This is my first time trying to do a Let's Play by myself in many years, and I might just suck at it now. I don't know. But I'm hoping that the gameplay, the concept or the premise of the series where I try to do it all, you guys get to see the whole journey and, you know, all the cool stuff that comes later. Combine that with my generous, I think it's fair to say generous knowledge of the game, because I am going to be like sprinkling in fun facts as I go, just like little factoids I've picked up about the game, the developers, the whatever. Hopefully that'll all come together and it'll be interesting to you, and if it's not, then, well, I mean, you don't have to watch. That's fine. If you don't want to come back to episode 2, you don't have to. That's the beauty of it. And honestly, like, I'd love for these videos to perform well, as would any content creator producing anything. But if they don't, I think that'll be okay, because I love this game so much. This series should tide me over until 3 comes out, and I think it's mostly for me. But if you've been enjoying it, feel free to also let me know that, because that would be sweet. It really would. So, fun fact number 1, and I guess it's kind of subjective how fun these facts really are. I could just call them facts and leave off any adjective. But, fun fact number 1, Claptrap. They didn't know that Claptrap was going to be so popular, and he actually wasn't voiced by a casted voice actor. He was voiced by somebody who I believe worked for the marketing department at Gearbox, and they were like, hey, do you want to voice a character in our video game? And he was like, sure. And now he's a very famous character. Okay, that's actually a pretty good shotgun. We're going to go sniper shotgun, so we'll replace the SMG, and here we go. Onward. Open. Right, here's to turn it on. But yeah, Claptrap, voiced by just some random dude in the company, and he's now very famous. That's pretty cool. He's famous for being pretty annoying, and I feel like there's a pretty good split of people who really love him, and some who just absolutely can't stand to hear him talk anymore. Nope, not quite. There we go. So like I said, the controller aim assist is nuts. You can kind of do the whole, like, aim down sights, fire right away formula for most things if you're playing with a controller. And on my playthrough with Steve that I've been doing recently, I have been using a controller just in case he wants to play as well. I can just hand him the controller. Hell of a lot easier than him switching seats with me. Here's a fun fact or whatever. You can actually... Sorry, I got distracted. You can get past this gate if you want to. Because you're supposed to defend Claptrap here, wait for the gate to be opened. But what you can do is just hop right up here and over this wall. It's very obvious when you look at it that you can get over that. Because they didn't put invisible walls there like they did everywhere in Borderlands 1, so... I believe it does mean you have to fight these enemies twice, because you come in here, Flint's men are waiting for you, you kill them. Once your objective updates, it spawns more of them. I think that's what we're going to see. But hey, that's more experience for us, right? And don't forget, the rules are I must complete every mission, so we're not just going to be flying through the story, we're going to do it all. So, we're going to clean up the burg. Oh, one more thing I wanted to mention. I don't know why I fired twice there. One more thing I wanted to mention. I don't know how long these episodes are going to be. I haven't really decided what I think the ideal length of a recording should be for a series that's going to be so long-winded, because my average recording with Steve for our Let's Play channel is like 15 minutes to 20, like low 20s if we let it get away from us. A nice digestible length of time, but I feel like anybody who's watching the series knows the game pretty well already. Good background noise, whatever, and I feel like a longer recording isn't necessarily a bad thing, because this series is going to take so long, and I don't think having a series with hundreds of episodes is actually better than having long recordings. And I know a lot of YouTube viewers are opposed to like 30-minute episodes or even longer, but I feel like for this series it might work better. So, again, if you have any thoughts on that, you can put them in the comments, if you feel like it. Can't open that yet. Alright, so Claptrap's gonna get shocked. We're gonna meet Sir Hammerlock. I think Sir Hammerlock's one of my favorite characters. Certainly not my favorite. Where are you going? Yep, okay. I mean, fair enough, you don't have an eye, but what was that? I don't get it. There you go. He absolutely wasn't supposed to turn around there. So, one thing everybody's asking for the developers to put it in Borderlands 3 that doesn't exist in 2 is a way to skip cutscenes. The game could easily detect that I've made 8 million characters for this game and not make me like watch all these cutscenes on every playthrough. Hopefully Borderlands 3 will have that feature. The other big thing I'd love Borderlands 3 to get right is the audio settings. The audio settings are not respected in a lot of places in this game. You kind of heard that inside of Claptrap's home, but certain cutscenes, certain areas are very loud even if your audio settings are very low. The worst place I've noticed for that is the Bloodshot Stronghold. When we get there, it's going to be deafening, and I apologize ahead of time. There's nothing I can do about it. Alright, you go and fix that. While we're here, I'm going to grab a couple of these things and hop up here, because there is a Bullymong pile up here that we're going to need to loot for a side quest, and I think it's interesting that because it's needed, it will literally respawn itself in front of your eyes. Because if you've destroyed it, well, then you can't loot it anymore. So it's kind of a silly oversight. What the fuck did you just say to me? What did you just say about my family, little man? One thing I think that is pretty universal amongst people who play games like this a lot is this kind of running and jumping around and shooting your gun when you don't need to, just because we know what's going to happen and we are so impatient waiting for it. Like, just how long it takes Hammerlock to turn on the power. Speaking of Hammerlock, his DLC was the worst, and if you disagree with me, then I can't help you. So Hammerlock's Big Game Hunt was the worst DLC this game has had. Main DLC add-ons. I'm not counting like Headhunter packs. But that DLC specifically is one of the reasons I'd be worried about trying to do all the challenges. Like I said, I will try, but it might not be viable for that and maybe other reasons. Man, that DLC is bad, and it has its own challenges. The areas just aren't fun to be in. The quests are long and arduous, and I only got through it completely on Xbox 360 because I was making use of the Evil Smasher glitch. I don't know if you guys know about that one, but it was the most broken you could make your guns in the entirety of Borderlands 2's life cycle, I think. The shotgun that we picked up at the beginning is pretty good. Alright. Another idea that I had for not necessarily a YouTube series, but maybe a stream thing that I'm not going to do right now, but I don't know. It was inspired by a series that I watched somebody do for Dark Souls, which was a use what you see. In Dark Souls, it makes, I think, more of a difference, makes it harder because there are stat requirements for a lot of the guns. It's more traditional RPG, so you could pick up an item that you just simply couldn't use or deal any damage with, and then you'd have to just kind of dodge enemies until you got something you could use. But I think a use what you see thing for Borderlands 2 would be interesting as well, just because there are so many guns, so many items that you get dropped during a play session, and having to constantly swap to the newest one would certainly spice it up a little bit. Again, don't know if I'll do it, but it would be an interesting series to watch, I think. And if you decide you want to do that, then I won't even sue you, so go right ahead. Well, I'm pretty sure I looked some up on YouTube and that already exists, so I don't think I have the legal high ground on that one anyway. So one thing I'm going to mention when we get to the oh my god, to the next point is I don't know whether there's a better way than this to farm badass rank, but one of the best ways I know of is to make a new character, get to the part where you can access scooters, catch a ride, and grab a car, and then as soon as you go through the first cavern in the car, there are I think they're called bully monk slingers who attack just by throwing rocks at you, and there's a set of challenges for shooting bully monk projectiles out of the air. And you can, if you aim your turrets correctly, you can just hold down both triggers and shoot projectiles out of the air non-stop. The bully monk won't move, they'll just keep throwing them until you've completed all tiers of that challenge. And you get a lot of badass rank for doing that. And you can do that on every new character you ever make, and I feel like it's got to be one of the fastest ways to farm badass rank if you really want to. I don't really know why you would need to do that, but you could. So anyway, we're going to come down here. We already have a shield, but we're going to go hit the elevator and purchase another one, which we're going to immediately sell back, unless it's better. Actually, while we're down here, I'm also going to go pick up the other side mission I was talking about earlier. We are already at the 21-minute mark for this recording, but I think we're going to keep on going for a little bit. I'm not going to have the length of an episode be like a huge variable, I don't think, because some people might structure it in a way like, I will record until I'm finished with the area I'm working on in this session, but I think that's a little bit excessive. So I think I'm going to aim for... God damn it, dude, these little tooltips, like, they need to realize that I've played this game for 800 hours, right? In Borderlands 3, it needs to detect that I don't need to be told this every time I make a new character. The replayability of these games is crazy. Like, that's so obnoxious. But I think I'd like to aim for between 30 and 45-minute episodes. Again, I'll be reading feedback about that, though. Also, if you've made it to this point in the episode, thank you. I know sitting through 22 minutes of content it can be tough no matter who you're watching or how much you like them. And this is not RuneScape content, so the fact that anybody could make it to this point in the video is... It's good, it's something. I appreciate it, and I hope that you're gonna give the series a chance and watch more of it. I know a lot of people do like Borderlands, so hopefully that's you. I mean, if you're here at the 22-minute mark, it probably is you to some extent. What is going on with that? Okay. Right. That was very strange. Oh, I really thought that was going to be a headshot. I don't think I hit the thing I needed to up here. But what I was going to say is, if you are deciding to give this video a chance, thank you. If you are giving this video a chance, but you're thinking to yourself, well, I tried it, it's not really for me, it's not old school content, I probably won't stick around. I do understand, and, you know, I'm not mad about it. I know this channel has gone through a lot of changes in the past year or whatever. I stopped making videos entirely because it was taking up too much time and stressing me out. And I just haven't been feeling RuneScape. I've been feeling like I needed a break, and maybe you're watching this and you didn't even see my making a change to my Twitch channel video, but I did state that I was going to play whatever I feel like from now on, streaming-wise, and that will include RuneScape sometimes, but it won't always. So if you're deciding that you were really only interested in the old school content, I do get that. Because as a content creator, it's frustrating for us to see people who are so loyal to one game, but they won't watch other stuff. But at the same time, we do it too, because we are also viewers. So it's hard for me to be too upset about it, and I do understand. So if you are planning on not watching anymore after this, just because it's not RuneScape, that's fine. And I thank you for checking it out and at least giving it a try. That being said, let's murder some banditos. I thought I was gonna go down, and I probably deserved it for that fucking banditos comment. Low-key racism? Not on my disgusting war-torn planet. Alright. Oh my god. How do I fucking throw a grenade? I remapped this on Borderlands 1. And I forgot to do it here. Where's grenade? Grenade, yeah. Change this. Oh, it's called mouse 3 on this one. It's called MMB, middle mouse button, on Borderlands 1. Obviously, I don't want to have to reach over and press the G key. I want to press the middle mouse button for a grenade. Alright. It's in my nature to just grab everything, even if I'm not going to use it, just because I can sell it to vending machines and get some more money later on. Oh fuck, did I pick up Bad Hair Day? I did, what am I doing? I'm the worst. I'm the worst 800-hour Borderlands 2 player you've ever heard of. Oh shit. Alright, the adult bullymongs might pose a problem. Yep, they're gonna pose a problem, aren't they? I have 7 HP. And no health regen. Yep, there it is. Now if he stays in range... Yeah, okay, cool. I don't want to have to go back to the other side of... Oh, fuck. I didn't mean to kill him. I don't want to have to go back to the other side of the region to finish this mission, if I can help it. Not like it really matters that much. This series is... I'm in it for the long haul, regardless of how this section goes. God damn it. Man, one thing I missed from playing 2 was that you can move and fight for your life. And you cannot in Borderlands 1, and god is it awful. Alright, I think we're cool. Give me those. And here. Not a super fun fact, but it is a fact. If you hold on to this quest and turn it in Sanctuary and give Claptrap the fur, he will still yell and be excited and say, "Fur Mohawk, baby," but it won't appear. The Fur Mohawk is only for when you're here in Liarsburg, which is a very silly oversight, in my opinion. Alright, so... Alright, we're not even going through there yet. We'll have to pick up Symbiosis before we can do that. Like I'm lagging a little bit. There's been a couple lag spikes. One thing you'll notice, I am playing on PC and I do not have PhysX turned on because I've noticed that my PC is not a huge fan of me recording or streaming at 1080p 60 and using the PhysX engine because it is, man, it is killer. It's crazy that this game came out in 2012 with a feature as advanced as that because, man, it was super cool then, it's super cool now, but it's pretty demanding on your system when you're also doing something like this at the same time. I think the lag is getting worse, but I might just be being paranoid, I'm not sure. I mean, this is episode 1, there's bound to be some kinks, some bumps in the road. Alright. And generally speaking, I'm pretty good at talking. I'm going to try not to let there be too many lulls and, well, conversation's a strong word for it, but you know what I mean. As we go through this series, if I end up not speaking much because I'm fighting something or just because I don't know, don't have much to say, I apologize. Let's Plays, it's tough because they can be pretty boring, and I just really hope that this one isn't. I just picked up a shield, didn't I? Yeah. 128. We'll buy this one. And sell those. Go ahead and equip that. They do have a glitch still in Borderlands 2 that they never patched out with menuing that I hope they'll fix for 3. They have to fix that for 3. There's no way they won't. What else are we looking at here? Audio log, story mission. Alright, so quick tip. If you're playing on PC anyway, just do this. If you don't want to make the run back to like a hub or a fast travel station. Turn this shit in. We're not turning that into you. We are absolutely turning it into you. Or I'm not because I spoke to him and it's too fucking late? Really? No, no, no! I pressed E, I didn't press Q. God damn it, whatever. Alright, well I got a sniper I can't use, that's good at least. I really wanted to do the fur mohawk, I didn't think that would ruin it. Oh well. I guess we'll hang on to that for now. The other thing that I wanted to mention that I completely forgot about when talking about the series rules and whatever is that this is going to be really fun for me, obviously, and I'm really excited about it, but I also am hoping that I will learn some stuff about the game that I didn't know before, and I've played it for 800 hours, so I know a lot of stuff about it, but I don't know everything. One thing, for example, that comes to mind is I never got into the whole... Actually, hang on, I gotta go and destroy that Bully Monk pile again since I saved and quit out. But I never got into the whole identifying weapon parts thing, you know, when farming for shit. People who were really into the game at the time could look at a gun, like by inspecting it, and they would know if it had the parts that they wanted or not just by looking. And I've never been able to do that, so I'm thinking that maybe I'll look into weapon parts, what they do, and what I want from that. But I'd like to kind of take something new out of this experience as well if I can. I don't know what else there is for me to learn about the game besides gun parts and maybe builds for other character types, although I am sticking to what I know with playing the Gunzerkers, so I'm not really making strides there. But I don't know. I'm hoping to learn some new stuff too. Some new fun facts to add to the arsenal. Another thing I would like your feedback about, if you don't mind, so this just respawns because it needs to hide this, is how do you feel about me talking over cutscenes and over echo communicators like this? Do you not mind because you know the game already like I do? Do you think it's annoying? Do you think I should turn off the dialogue slider completely? I don't really know. But if you care enough, one way or the other, just let me know your stance on talking at the same time as characters. I understand it could be annoying. But from my perspective, making myself wait for characters to be done talking every time it happens, there's gonna be a lot of dead air from my end things, I don't know. Alright, Mr. Oh. Puts it into his hat. I actually kind of forgot what Hammerlock does with the fur because I haven't given it to him in years, like legitimately.
Handsome Jack killed her, did he? Shame. A real shame.
Oh, it's the dart. I was like, what is he throwing the knives at?
Capable of doing that.
I think there's a knife throwing in the bar in Sanctuary as well. Alright. We got one badass rank. I don't want to use that. I can't use that yet. We'll be able to soon. Go ahead and do Symbiosis, and then we'll probably cut the episode after this quest. And that'll be kind of fitting, because after this quest, all the side quests that I can do right now are going to be completed. And in the next episode, we'll pick back up with the main story. I think that's a good call. And of course, while I'm doing Symbiosis, I'm going to gain access to my action skill, which is nice. I don't know how that guy was injured. I haven't been over here in this play session yet. Oh goodness, let's get up here. Yep. I was corroding, and I knew that was going to happen. Borderlands 1 has been really refreshing in terms of fight for your life, because enemies don't backtrack to the next zip code after downing you in Borderlands 1. And good lord, they better not in Borderlands 3, because that is probably one of the most frustrating things that can happen to you in this game. You get knocked down, and you're like, wow, there's a dude in front of me, he's weak, I have an awesome shotgun, no problem. But then as soon as you go into the down animation, he just backpedals, and there's no chance of getting back up, and you lose 10% of your money. I really hope that's just not the case anymore. I do love Jacob's pistols, but I think we're going to stick to what I've got going right now for a little bit longer. Blow that up. Did not mean to set myself on fire. And those are all bad. One more thing is this grenade mod. It came with the Game of the Year edition or the pre-order or whatever, and it's called the Skyrocket, and it doesn't have a level requirement, if you'll notice, because it scales to your level. So it says at the bottom there, damage is based on player level. So this grenade mod is actually good always, and I love using it. But again, I can see that being problematic for you guys. If you don't want me to use that grenade mod and instead would prefer that I use grenade mods that I get as drops, then go ahead and let me know. But honestly, this series isn't really... The purpose of the series isn't to just like totally challenge myself. It's just more to experience everything the game has to offer and have fun and just kind of ride the hype wave until Borderlands 3 comes out. So, as with anything, I will take it under advisement if you feel that way and make my own call. Alright, so let's put that on. Sell this garbage and go kill Midgemong. There's also one other really easy badass rank you can grab coming up over here that I'll show you. I think it's only good for one badass rank. It might be 5, but I think it's 1. Wish this would fire one more time before needing to reload, but we're gonna replace it soon anyway. Alright, sweet. Got our action skill. Oh goodness. One thing that one of my viewers was telling me recently when I was streaming Borderlands 1 is how best to go about speccing. Apparently I've been doing that wrong for 7 years. So we're going to try to spec correctly on this series. Basically he said that don't be wishy-washy with spending points. Don't spread your points out across multiple skills, rather than dumping all of your points into the ones that are just straight up better. But yeah, see there's a lever here to raise this platform up, but what you do is you drop down onto the chain and walk across it, and then you get Vault Hunter on wire. Yep, just one badass rank, but hey, it's free and easy. Okay, we're not using that. This area is a little clusterfucky for first-time players. And honestly, it can be a little clusterfucky on True Vault Hunter mode and Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. The reason that Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, or Playthrough 3, is so unbalanced is because enemies, I think, have 4 times the HP between Playthrough 2 and 3. And every enemy in the game has health regen, so if you don't kill them fast enough, they are going to get their health back, which is... I don't know. It's not fun. I hope that that's also no longer the case when we finally see 3 come out. Anyway, I hope I can start getting these episodes out sooner rather than later. The announcement of 3 is still fresh in people's minds. A lot of my friends and viewers have been playing Borderlands games. They've told me, or I've seen on Steam. Everybody's riding the hype train at the moment, and I would like to start getting these episodes out. But at the same time, I got other shit to do in my life, and it's a lot easier to be consistent with uploads if I could sit on a huge backlog of these recordings. So I'm definitely going to do my best to balance that. Start off by saving up a bunch, I think, and then trying to upload probably weekly. I think especially with the episodes being so long, I don't think more than weekly would be necessary. Oh, he turned. Oh, I suck. The first time was his fault, and the second time was my fault. I don't know why I'm messing with him anyway. Okay. Here we go. Getting into the thick of it here. I do like the music that's going on during the fights here, but I was talking to Steve in my chat recently about how I think that Borderlands 1 music is more nostalgic than in 2. In 2, they, good for them, they didn't just stagnate. They made some changes to the style of music and stuff, but nothing puts me in the Borderlands mood like hearing the Borderlands 1 original soundtrack. It's just way more nostalgic, and I think it elicits a reaction that 2's music does not. And I think it felt more appropriate to the desolate wasteland that is Pandora than jammy stuff like this. Just like it was very like lonely sounding. I don't really know how better to describe it, not being a musician myself. Anyway, I'm fucking around and wasting time. Let's just go up here and fight Midgemong, shall we? Recording is getting a little lengthy. Loot this first. Another one badass rank. And here we are. Level 7. We're gonna wait for him to jump away, and then we're gonna grenade his ass, because these grenades are just fucking stupid. I mean, look at that. Look, I'm done. I win. I am the best. Well, no, that's not true. My grenade mod is the best. It's only not good against things that are resistant to fire damage, but it will destroy everything else, such as this badass in here. Excuse me? What? Is there no badass here if you're playing solo? Oh, that can't be right. Okay, maybe that... No, there was a badass there, I think, when I played for my playthrough with Steve just recently. Okay, well, don't I feel stupid. Yeah. In any case, there tends to be a badass that spawns and comes out of that door. I was going to grenade him, so it wasn't going to be consequential, but man, do I just love being wrong. I'm going to buy that sniper back, because I would like to use it. Crash the gearbox one, and sell some more of this garbage. Buy a badass rank, nice. Oh, another thing I would like to show off during this series is the Easter eggs. All the ones that I remember anyway. There's a shitload of Easter eggs in this game, like impressively so. And I'd like to show those off as we go. So if I've been neglecting to show off Easter eggs that you are aware of, just yell at me in the comments and remind me, because the Easter eggs in this game are awesome. Alright, we're going to pull another one of these. Not going to get me all the way back to where I want to go, but it'll get me a little bit closer. Alright. We're going to go say hello to our buddy Hammerlock, and then we will wrap up this episode here. Okay, that was just a great shot by me. Okay. Ooh, so close to level 6. Get that on my way. Hey there, bud. There we go. Boop. Here is a quote-unquote fun fact. When you hit max level, you stop gaining experience, obviously, just kind of the way it works in every game. However, one oversight the developers left in, if you are max level, can no longer gain any experience. You can still get an XP pop-up by doing one thing and that is reviving a downed teammate. Of course, it won't change your XP total at all because you can't possibly gain any more, but you will always get the 100 XP drop for reviving a teammate, no matter what. Which I think is... stuff like that just interests me. Game design is an interesting thing. I wasn't really paying attention, but did I not get experience for that barrel kill? Oh no. Alright, we'll deal with the skill point a little bit later. Well, I guess we can take a look. So typically how I spec this character is in these two trees. I tend to do a combination of, I think. I love the overkill damage. It's just incredible. Being able to gunzerk while in fight for your life, also incredible. Having it so that when you kill an enemy, it reloads the stored weapons, the ones you aren't currently wielding. So good. Money shot, very powerful. This tree is just amazing. And from this one, just maxing out this, reducing the cooldown of your action skill is always a good thing. Increasing how long you gunzerk for, always a good thing. And this one's also fun, just being able to throw 2 grenades instead of 1 while gunzerking. Especially with the grenade mod I'm currently rocking, it's incredible. And of course this is good for chaining, or not chaining, but it just increases the time that you gunzerk for based on getting kills. I don't know about that one, I don't really care about that so much. But I almost never do this. I never do this skill tree, except for this. I love having health regen on my characters. That tends to be the first point I spend when I make a new gunzerker, because, like, as you can see, I have 125 HP. It's not moving. And one thing that triggers me in 1 and 2 is when I get damaged significantly during an encounter, and then I go up against a bunch more enemies in the next encounter, and I'm still like at 20 HP from the previous one because I don't have health regen on. And I hate that. I hate being so disadvantaged every new fight. Health regen's harder to come by in 1, I've noticed, but I love that skill for that reason. So we're probably going to splash into that tree just for that, and then the rest I think we'll be going with the leftmost skill tree and then the middle one to some extent as well. Although I haven't leveled a character all the way to 72 in a long time, so we're going to have a lot of points to deal with. Okay. Here we go. Another badass rank. Another skin that of course I've already unlocked, so we're just going to chuck it. Alright, we'll go ahead and spend point for that. And with that, I think I'm going to bid you guys farewell. This is a cool 45 minutes, pretty much the upper limit of what I want these episodes to be looking like. Thank you so much for watching, particularly if you are still hearing my words right now. If you made it to the end of this episode, that's crazy, because it's a very long episode, but I hope it was interesting. I think that it was reasonably interesting. I hope you agree. Again, if you'd care to share your feedback with me, hit up the comments section. And also, I'm going to always include links to my other shit in the description of these videos. So, first and foremost, check out my stream if you want to. I do stream every week when I get a chance after work and on my days off, which has always been my priority since I started doing it more and realized how much I love it. So check out the stream if you would. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this, or don't, but mostly do. And, you know, there's Twitter link and stuff like that. It doesn't really matter that much. But thank you so much for being here. And I hope you enjoyed the non-old school content. I think this type of stuff is going to be really fun to do, so I hope it's also really fun to watch. Alright, thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next episode of Borderlands 2EZ, where we will continue with the main story. I couldn't think of anything interesting to say, so bye.